I definitely think we're on that there is a process that has been long underway, that has been gaining momentum since its very beginning. It's the process which formed the planet, which called life out of the ocean, which called higher animals out of lower animals, which called humanity out of the primates, and which called history out of tribal, sacral, timeless existence. And what it is leading toward is some kind of apocalyptic, transformative flowing together of everything that is beyond our language system. It's the umbilicus of being. It's where it's all tied together, and therefore it's very hard to describe it. I think that all of our science and our religion and our history, these are patterns thrown across a limited set of dimensions by the hyperdimensional fact of a certain object at the end of history, toward which we are moving, to which we are being drawn. I think that most things about man are mysterious, and that what is happening to us is mysterious. The sudden explosive development of the neocortex is entirely out of context with what we know about the rates of evolution that go on in other species and previously went on in the primates. Now it's been very fashionable in the past, 50 years or something, to think that it's all very humdrum somehow. And yet this is just every ideological system that has been granted the status of being the official view of reality has always proclaimed that it had everything nailed down but the last 5%, and their best people were working on that. But I think that we are, for all that we know practically nothing. And that though I am not in any sense of not in any sense, but in most senses I am not religious, I think that religious thinking about the transformation of the world is more on the right track than the notion that the laws of physics will always be what they are, the laws of biology will always be what they are, and we're all just going to go along and things are going to get worse and worse, or better and better, but that there are no surprises. I think that we do not see what's going on. One of the reasons I like to make this argument about the mushroom and the extraterrestrial and all that is just to show people that maybe this isn't true, but look how you can see things differently. If things can be seen that differently, how many ways can they be seen differently? And to try and get people to realize, to stop waiting for the president to enlighten you. In other words, stop waiting for history and the stream of historical events to make it clear to you. You have to take seriously the notion that understanding the universe is your responsibility, because the only understanding of the universe that will be useful to you is your understanding. It doesn't do you any good to know that somewhere in some computer there are tensor equations which perfectly model or perfectly don't model something that's going on. And we have all tended to give away ourselves to official ideologies and to say, well, I may not understand, but someone understands. But the fact of the matter is only your own understanding is any good to you. I mean, because it's you that you're going to live with, and it's you that you're going to die with. And as the song says, the last dance you do alone. And you want to be in good company then. So it's very important to cultivate this aspect of yourself and to be with it. I don't know what the transformation means, this rushing together of everything, but I think without knowing what it means, you can convince yourself that it's there, It's just nobody has chronicled it, or no official agency has pointed out that things are developing faster and faster. Things are growing together faster and faster. Connections are being formed faster and faster. The evolution of language, technology, understanding of the self, these things are just spinning into a tizzy, and it will not go away. It will go through. It will break through to something else, and we may have to shed the present human guiding image. We may have to shed the monkey body. We have to be open, very open. What is happening on this planet, if you stand off by a nearby star and look at it, is there is information loose on this planet. A swarm, a gene swarm of replicating information, which has become so complexified that it now generates swarms of epigenetic information, meaning books, architectures, mythologies, all of these things. And information is liberating itself. And what is that? And what does that mean? You know, the Gnostics had the idea that God's body had been scattered through the universe as light, and that the purpose, the salvational imperative, was to gather the light together and get it out of this universe and transmit it back to the modality of its essence. And that's a good metaphor for what is going on. But no one understands it, I think. But we can understand aspects of it. We are lagging. There is enough visible that we should be saying more about what's happening. And I don't hear that being said. Maybe it's being said privately. Maybe it's a taboo subject. Perhaps the attraction for some people of these lectures is that they somehow violate taboos, that impossible things are being said. Maybe, maybe not, but impossible things need to be said because impossible things are happening, and you don't want to miss it. Thank you very much. It was a pleasure to talk to you about this. I hope you enjoyed it as much as I did.